How are trademarks, copyrights, patents handled to keep them private? Okay, so there's a public and a private, pretty much everything. You're not going to get a patent in a private, but there's a public and a private copyright trademark that you could utilize. For example, my buddy owned the first powerhouse gym in Seattle, Washington. This is how I learned this 20 years ago. He did not trademark or copyright the name Powerhouse Gym. The Powerhouse Gym Inc. That sold franchises sued him, and my buddy won because he was first in time, first in line, and he publicly posted his per se copyright to the world, meaning it was a sign. So the element of what you would construe as a private trademark or private copyright would be something that you would have to prove that you put into the public prior to somebody else. Does that make it have protections for you? My question is, why do you care? It's not a citizen, it's not you, it has nothing to do with you. It is in fact registering something that is yours into a public domain that would allow for somebody else a period of time that they'd have to wait before they'd be able to utilize that patent, or maybe be able to utilize a trademark or a copyright, because there are certain things and limits and times in which you have protections with those. So, and private necessarily isn't going to help you, and public isn't necessarily going to help you. I've seen plenty of patents and copyrights and trademarks. And if you ever wondered why Einstein was so incredibly smart, he was the intake guy for the patents office for many years. So that very smart invention creator would read everybody's patents and utilize them to some degree for himself. And so ask yourself, how safe are these patents that you're getting? Some Chinese company will take what you have, go to market with it fast, make 30, 40, 50 million quick. You come in with the lawsuits, they're already gone and out of business and ran with the cash and the profits, and they've already gone to market. So you do have a degree of protections, but if it's really a unique product that somebody else can't produce, a patent will be a safety measure, but if it's something that somebody can easily produce, it's not going to be so safe. But I wouldn't care personally. I'd rather maybe utilize the public side of one of those things to maybe help secure like a book or, you know, one of those things, so that you can prove that you wrote something and it was registered in a database. Doesn't mean necessarily that you're registering or turning it over. Now, I haven't done enough studies on patents to determine whether you're turning over your product to that patent office that you're filing with. I haven't done enough study, but I'd like to look into that. But I wouldn't worry too much about, because it has nothing to do with you and the private. It does have to do with you keeping something private, but by keeping something private, you're not going to keep somebody else from using it, guaranteed. And there's really, I mean, you can send somebody constructive notice, you can do all these scare tactics, it's going to be zero help, zero support. And that's why there are some benefits to a public side venue like a patent office. Unfortunately, there are, because you have them in a support system and structure to, you know, help you with the cease and desist on something they might be doing against a product you created.